Hi there, and welcome to She Spice. 50 Cent is known for his talent for remarking on industry improvements, especially with regards to his proven and factual contentions with Diddy and Jay-Z as of late. In the midst of the whirling claims encompassing Diddy, 50 Cent hasn't avoided sharing his contemplations on their quarrel, which has seen both verbal and physical conflicts dating back to their days at Terrible Kid Records. A new disclosure from Tony Yo, an individual from the 50 Pennies unit team, reveals new insight into their ill will. You unveiled that 50 Cent was nearing a deal with Terrible Kid Records just for Diddy to haul out of the arrangement at the last minute. This disclosure adds a startling turn to their continuous quarrel. You know the circumstances, and you realize that many individuals were frightened that 50 wasn't, so it was very much like you know. While not broadly exposed, it's significant that 50 Cent has for sure examined the chance of a record deal with Diddy and Terrible Kid Records on no less than one occasion. I was going this way and that, and he just looked. They realized I was gifted. They just took a gander at it and said, I don't need all of the stuff that accompanies it. The specific thought processes behind Diddy's decision not to sign 50 Cent remain subject to guesswork and conversation. It's muddled whether Diddy completely perceived 50 potential at that point, or then again, assuming different contemplations affected his choice. A few hypotheses recommend that Diddy might have had an uncomfortable outlook on 50 Penny Strong and trying disposition characteristics that have without a doubt molded 50 Cent's vocation fundamentally staggered over it. Yet, he didn't have the foggiest idea about the difficulty that accompanied Shay Diddy Brushes, who laid out Terrible Kid Records in the mid-1990s, gathered a considerable program of specialists highlighting lights. For example, the famous Huge Charming Brown and Confidence Evans. Regardless of his set of experiences with shrewd signings, Diddy went with the outstanding decision not to seek after the arising rapper, 50 Cent, a choice that keeps on creating interest, and guess better believe it. I saw Yale say that you should sign the Terrible Kid. No doubt you understand what happened in a new meeting with Vlad Television. The Gunit rapper described a gathering he and 50 Cent had with Puff Daddy in regards to a possible arrangement. As per you, he communicated the conviction that Puff Daddy's decision not to sign 50 Cent stands apart as one of the greatest mix-ups the name has made. Understanding reveals insight into the points of view of those straightforwardly elaborated Ds and highlights the verifiable meaning of that vital choice in the music business. He started by saying that many individuals don't have the foggiest idea about this story. 50 went to Diddy for a Terrible Kid. Many individuals don't realize that we had the gathering, and it was insane to the point that Diddy didn't sign him. I realized that was one of the greatest mix-ups of Terrible Kids, and you know the Kenneth Preeminent McGriff circumstance. Many individuals were frightened that Pre-50 wasn't as per Yo's record. The gathering appears to have happened after the arrival of 50 Penny's debut single in 1999, How to Ransack. In this track, he included verses that included coercing Diddy and conveying intimidation against different other notable rappers. It's important that this gathering unfolded before the lamentable episode in which 50 Cent was shot multiple times in May 2000. Yo-Yo made sense of the fact that we had a gathering with Diddy. It was me and 50, and he took the gathering out of regard. He had bargains all around the table. I wasn't saying he planned to take the arrangement. He could have not yet. Diddy would have rather not taken the arrangement CU of all the show. However, 50 was the most sizzling N on earth. Tony Yo likewise raised the point that 50 Cent had been associated with composing for Diddy, and he reviewed a few significant words from their gathering that had lastingly affected him. Yo referenced that 50 Cent had recently composed for Diddy, which happened a long time ago, conceivably on a track like Jep's. We should get it. Ye further shared that Diddy had underscored 3 vital viewpoints about rappers during their gathering: financial balances, connections, and extravagance vehicles. Around then, they didn't have a lot of cash, yet those words stayed with him. He further continued saying, and later on, I had what he said. I had Ledgers B and Bentleys, and that makes you an objective. I've been taking shots at various times. Yet I say those requests before I leave the house. Besides, there have been ideas from individuals that Diddy has consistently had areas of strength for monetary achievement. One individual composed of 50 can have 200 fellows with him for security. Yet you can tell you is the only one he really wants around. At the end of the day, you can't supplant a lifetime home slice you can trust, particularly when you make it another additional. You couldn't, in fact, be resentful about Diddy not marking 50. It happened. How should Dr. M? In addition, we realize Diddy has a past filled with failing specialist professions, and creating one-hit ponders 50 ought to send Diddy a check and express gratitude for not marking me. There are claims coursing that Hollywood capabilities like a shadowy substance purportedly include figures, for example, Jay-Z and Diddy, who pull out all the stops to boost benefits. This supposed malignant impact has probably uncovered an upsetting road for monetary profit, which includes the double dealing of various young people, especially female specialists. It's guaranteed that ICE 3D Shape is vocal about these issues and doesn't avoid tending to them. I think you rest easier thinking about yourself when you express out loud whatever should be said at the time it should be said, and not subsequently when you return home and figure I ought to have said this. Apparently, he contends that numerous female craftsmen have confronted significant difficulties supposedly arranged by Jay-Z and Diddy frequently without affirmation. Their indicated encounters, he guarantees, have brought about a turbulent and difficult experience. They owe many individuals a ton of favors. The more cash you give them, the more you're standing by listening to ICE 3D Square, which has recently highlighted Hollywood's history of double dealing, bringing up the fact that it envelops everybody, even detainees. Besides, it's not exclusively ICE Block who shares this point of view, who has a discernment that Hollywood intently teams up with a strong confidential industry, bringing about common advantages gained from the neglected work of millions of detainees. This worry stretches out to the weakness of small kids, guiltless young people, and particularly female craftsmen who might be powerless to shady practices inside the diversion area decided into a jail camp. Where were the defenders of the children around? ICE Block has reliably made disturbing charges, guaranteeing that Hollywood capabilities are likened to a benefit from exposing people to different difficulties. Strikingly, there gives off an impression of being significant proof supporting this disrupting thought. Whether it's Hollywood presidents or record name proprietors, those in influential places inside the business supposedly have an interest in reinforcing the jail populace, as indicated by these declarations. The hidden thought process is basically as direct and evil as one would expect, and they most certainly know who they are. Many individuals would resemble those who, come on man, quit playing ICE. 3D Square showed up at Bill Mayer's club. The irregular digital recording made a few frigid disclosures. He says Hollywood leaders maintain that individuals should be secured, and they assist with creating an entire culture of savagery and hooligan life to make this conceivable. This isn't simply a careless hypothesis. Anyone can undoubtedly see reality when you take a gander at where the cash goes. He talked plainly about the association among Hollywood and the compelling businesses that benefit from our quibbling and division. I don't have a clue about their names. However, on the off chance that you follow the cash and go sufficiently high, you begin to see, in a real sense, that similar individuals who own the record marks own the penitentiaries. The music business likewise profits by landing credulous youngsters into jails, and the higher-ups use music to drive these individuals into the way of life of wrongdoing. ICE 3D Square talked about this and said it appears to be truly dubious if you have any desire to say that the records that come out are truly equipped to push individuals towards that jail industry. As per the rapper, the entire business is engaged in establishing a climate that makes youngsters more inclined to a very evil and elaborate social design that is working here to create a profit from individuals' lives. Realize some friendly design happening here to ensure those entertainment facilities. Stay full as per ICE Block and Bill Mayer's conversation on the webcast record name proprietors purportedly add to the glamorization of and in their music, purposefully depicting these ways of life as cool. The ramifications are that this technique impacts youngsters' romanticization of a way of life, and subsequently, increasingly more youth might end up trapped in the equity framework, denying them a certified open door to construct a nice life for themselves. The sort of stuff in rap versus fills in as a pipe to get individuals motivated to do the sort of things that would get them in jail. Claims have surfaced recommending that people related to the case have a critical interest in the mysterious and may have been associated with human penances in the past. Disclosures have revealed insight into different parts of the case, alluding to conceivable unfairness. What separates this second is the expressness with which these allegations are being made by a developing number of allies. Trauma centers are currently requiring the examination to be resumed, showing enduring devotion to guaranteeing that Aliyah gets the equity she merits. No name, I won't name it. It's up. No, you understand what I'm talking about, and only for pastors. Subscribe She Spice For more videos,